Hi guys, welcome back to another episode with Rusi Baby. Today's topic is going to be quite interesting. But before we enter into the story part, then the main part, I want to show you guys a video of two women, two different choices, love versus money. Let's watch this video together.
What's more important to you, relationships or money?
Relationships.
And why?
Money is fleeting, right? You'll make the money. As long as we exist, you'll do something to produce some level of revenue. Cool. But relationships matter on I think a bigger scale, more grand scale. The type of relationship that you have with people, places, and things, I think it's more spiritual. It's more fulfilling. So the relationship I may have with my brother, sister, my teacher, my coworker, whoever, the person at the grocery store that I shop at every Friday, I think those are more the things that kind of keep you fueled throughout life, as opposed to money. It's going to be there regardless and really only holds value for one thing.
That's a great answer.
That is for the US version. Let's watch another video.
Between love and money, which would you choose first?
Well, I'll choose money actually. Yeah.
Why? Allah explain. So when there's money, you can buy the love.
Sure. I actually don't believe in love, but I also believe when there is money, there's love.
The second video was the Nigerian version. So you see, two different women, two different choices. US versus Nigerian. One chose money over love, and the other one chose love over money. Who do you think is right? I need your answers in the comment section. I know that some people would support the US lady, while some people will support the Nigerian lady. But who do you think is right? Before we go into what will happen to this episode, I want to read you guys a story. Like you all know, every episode I get to read someone's story. It could be their personal experience. It could be someone else's experience, maybe someone close to them or related to them. It could be something that you just observe in the society and you just want to share, or you just have something to say, you want to share your personal experience. It could be anything related to love, dating, marriage, relationship, and divorce. Like I always say, if you have anything to say related to the things I just mentioned, then kindly send it to coupleschronicles@gmail.com. So one of our viewers sent their story, so I'm going to be reading it out in today's episode. Yes, so let's see if she has something to share with us, or if she has a question, that she wants to ask, that people can advise her, stuff like that. So let's read the story together. She said, and I quote, "Hello sis, please, I need people to advise me because I am confused." Okay, she's asking for an advice, but I don't want anybody to judge me. Okay, I am 29 years old and I have been dating my boyfriend. Let's call him Daniel. For almost 4 years, when we started dating, Daniel was not rich, but he was very hardworking. He was working in a small company, earning something that was not much, but he always had plans. He used to talk about how he wanted to start his own business one day, buy land, build a house, and become somebody his family would be proud of. At that time, I was not doing very well financially. I was still trying to find my feet after NYSC. I was living with my aunt, doing small jobs here and there. And Daniel was the person encouraging me. Sometimes he would send me transport money for interviews. Okay? Sometimes he would call me at night and say, "Don't worry, you will get something better. You are too smart to remain like this." That was one of the reasons I loved him. He made me feel seen. Nice. Daniel was not the kind of man that had money to throw around, but he was caring. If he had 5,000 naira, he would use 2,000 to buy food and still send me something. On my birthday, he once borrowed money just to buy me a small cake and a handbag. It was not expensive, but I cried because I knew he made an effort. Intentional man. Nice. Everybody around us knew we were serious. My mother liked him. My younger sister called him brother-in-law. Okay? Even his mom used to call me and ask when I was coming to visit. But as time went on, life became harder. Daniel lost his job. Oh my God. At first, I was not worried. I told him, "You have supported me before. This is my turn. We will get through it." I was working then, earning a small salary, but I would send him money sometimes. Not because he forced me, but because I loved him and I knew he was trying. For the first few months, Daniel was still the same person. He applied for jobs, went for interviews, did online courses, and even started helping someone sell building materials for commission. Every morning, he would wake up early, dress well, and leave the house. But when he came back, he would tell me what happened. Then after about a year, something changed. He became quieter. He stopped talking about the future. He stopped making jokes. He started avoiding people. Whenever I asked him how his day went, he would just say nothing happened. Sometimes I would call him and he would not pick up until midnight. When he finally called back, he would say he was tired. I tried to understand because I knew being unemployed can affect a person's confidence. True. But it started affecting our relationship too. Before Daniel would ask about my day, he would want to know if I had eaten. He would plan little things, even if it was just sitting outside and buying suya. But now, every conversation became about money, problems, bills, and disappointment. One day, I told him I had been promoted at work. I was so excited. My salary was not huge, but it was better than before. I expected him to be happy for me. At first, he said congratulations, but his voice was flat. Later that night, he said, at least one of us is moving forward. Okay, that statement stayed with me. Of course, it should. A few weeks later, a family friend introduced me to another man. Let's call his name Michael. Michael was older than Daniel. He was 38, divorced, no kids. He owned a logistics business. He was calm, well-spoken, and very financially comfortable. The first time we met, he did not try to impress me with too much talk. He simply asked me what I wanted for my life. I told him I wanted peace, a stable home, and a man who would not make me feel like I was carrying the whole relationship alone. He looked at me and said, I can give you stability. I am not promising perfection, but I am tired of games. I want to settle down. Another intentional man. I did not tell Daniel about Michael immediately. I felt guilty even talking to another man, but at the same time, I was angry with Daniel because I felt like I had been waiting for a future that was no longer coming. Michael started checking on me. He would send the car when I was coming back late from work. He paid for a professional course I had wanted to do for years. When my mom fell sick, I needed money for tests. Michael sent the money without asking me to pay it back. That was when my mind became confused. Because Daniel loved me before he lost everything. Daniel supported me when he had nothing. But now Michael was showing me the kind of security I had always prayed for. He said he had received an opportunity to travel to another state to work with his cousin. The pay was not much at first, but there was a possibility that it could lead to something better. He said he wanted to go for 6 months and try to build himself again. Then he looked at me and said, I know I have disappointed you. I know you're tired, but please don't give up on me now. I am not asking you to suffer forever. I am asking you to believe in the man I was trying to become. I wanted to cry because that was the Daniel I remembered. The man with dreams. The man who always believed that things would get better. But I also remembered all the times I had needed emotional support and he was too withdrawn to give it. I remember the times I sent him money and he did not even say thank you properly because he was ashamed. I remembered how lonely I had started feeling in a relationship where I was not technically alone. A few days after that, Michael proposed. It was not a big proposal. He came to my family house with gifts and told my mother he wanted to marry me. My mom was shocked because she knew about Daniel. Later, she called me into her room and said, my daughter, love is important, but marriage is not only love. You have to think very well. My younger sister said I should choose Michael because love does not pay bills. Gen Z sister. But my best friend said something that disturbed me. She said, be careful. Do you love Michael? Or do you love what his money is doing for your life? That's a deep question. That question has been following me everywhere. Now, the painful part is this. Daniel found out about Michael. I did not tell him. Someone who knew both of us saw Michael at my family house and told him. Daniel called me that night. He was not shouting. That even made it worse. He just said, So this is why you have been distant. I tried to explain that it was not only about money. I told him I was tired, I was scared, and unsure about our future. But he said, you were with me when I had hope. The moment I became a problem, you found a man with money. I got angry and told him, you think I am leaving because you're broke? No, I'm not, but it is because you stopped being a partner. You stopped communicating, you stopped allowing me into your life. You made me feel like loving you was a burden. There was silence. Then Daniel said, maybe you are right, but if I had the money, would you still be considering Michael? I could not answer him. But the truth is this, I don't know. I care about Daniel. A part of me still sees the man who encouraged me when I had nothing. But another part of me is afraid that if I marry him, I might spend years waiting for him to become the man he says he will become. And I don't want to marry Michael simply because he can solve problems. He is a good man, but I cannot say I love him the way I loved Daniel. I feel safe with Michael, but I feel history with Daniel. Daniel has now traveled for the job. He still calls me sometimes, but our conversations are awkward. Michael is still asking for my answer because his family wants to know when to come officially. Please, am I a bad person if I choose Michael, or am I foolish if I leave Daniel after everything we have been through? I don't want to choose money over love, but I also don't want to choose love and later regret living a difficult life. What would you advise me to do? So over to you guys. What do you think our sister should do? What do you think she should do? Who do you think she should choose? Just like that video that was played at the beginning of this episode. 2 women, 2 choices. One chose love over money and the other chose money over love. Who do you think is right? See, when a woman chooses love over money, it doesn't mean she's wiser than every other person. When a woman chooses money over love, it doesn't mean that she's being selfish. Guys, when someone asks you this question, love or money, choose one, what are they actually asking? See, one thing I want this lady that sent her story to understand is that let her place these 2 guys as 2 wealthy people. If Daniel and Michael were at the same level financially, who would she choose? I want her to put it like that. And if both of them were rich, who would she choose? And if both of them were poor, who would she choose? I understand that she needs to consider the fact that love does not pay bills. But this is life. That money that man has today, it can disappear. And the other person that doesn't have money can be wealthy tomorrow. You know, life. Tables turn at any time. That is just it. So I feel like she is the one that will make the decision. She is the one that knows these 2 guys more than any of us. But please, you guys should advise her. And advise her well. Some people will be very quick to say love is more important than money. I'm not against such opinion. Love is important, yes. Love can make your life beautiful. Love can give you companionship, friendship, emotional safety, intimacy, laughter, and someone to share your life with. But you need to understand that bills does not understand love. So when some people say money does not matter when it comes to things of love, it's not entirely true. It is not true. Money may not be everything. But the question is, can a peaceful home be built without money? My own personal conclusion is that money is not a replacement for love. People should stop. The comparison should not even be there at all. Love or money. No. My own is, if the 2 people that you love are rich and both of them love you, who would you choose? I think that is a more balanced question. The reason why I say these 2 things, money and love, should not be even replaced or compared at all is because there are people that have all the money. They have the money. But you see, they are not happy. They are depressed in their marriage. Yes. You will see a rich person, a rich man, a rich woman, married. They have the money. They have everything, comfort. But they are yearning for love. Rich people yearning for love. Poor people yearning for money. You see, life no balance. There are women that married wealthy men, but they are suffering in their marriage. There are men that provide everything for their family financially, 100% they are there for their family, but no affection, no respect, peace, no emotional connection in his home. There are so many homes like that. So that is why I say this thing should not be compared. When you want to make choices like that about who you should be with, whether they have money or not, who loves you more, I feel like you should just listen to your inner mind and make that decision. Because when you choose money and that person doesn't love you, sometimes it doesn't always end well. A man can pay all your bills and still break your heart every day of that marriage. A woman can have a lot of money, marry a wealthy man that pays all her bills, that she doesn't lack a thing, but she'll still cheat on another man that loves her. So money does not guarantee a peaceful marriage. That is why choosing money without looking at character is dangerous. And choosing love without looking at responsibility is also dangerous. The question is not really love or money. The real question is, what kind of love are we talking about? What kind of money are we talking about? Aside money, aside love, who is this person? That is the right answer. That is the right question to ask yourself or anybody that wants to advise you. Who is this person? Aside the love, aside the money, who is this person? Be it a man, be it a woman. Both genders to ask themselves this question. If the love is genuine, respectful, and peaceful, and both of you are working together to build your future, that love has value, especially to the women. So don't throw such kind of love away because of money. If that relationship is draining you, there is no effort, no plan, no growth, nothing, and you're always the one carrying the entire burden of that so-called relationship, please, that is not love. Love is not a long-term sentence of suffering. There is a difference between standing by someone in their difficult season and standing by someone that refuses to take responsibility. Let me say it again, especially to the ladies. There is a difference between standing by that person that you love sincerely in their difficult times, in their hard times, and being with or carrying someone that has refused to stand on their own, that has refused to take responsibility. Note the difference between these two types of people. There are people that are broke, but they are disciplined, they are honest, they are kind, they are focused, they have where they are going to. But there are people that they have the money, but they don't even have any vision for their life, no plan, no future plan. They are just busy lavishing money. That is why I always say, money is not everything. It is important, very important, but my dear, it is not everything. A woman is not wicked because she wants to marry a rich man. No, she wants financial stability. A man is also not wicked for looking for a woman that will be there with him through thick and thin. He wants someone that will support him, even in the midst, because you know how life can be. Life has phases where things can get hard. So both desires are very much valid. There is nothing wrong with wanting a good thing. The problem is when some people start thinking that choosing a rich man means you're greedy and selfish, or when they pretend that loving someone means you can accept anything from them. No, it's not. Love is not staying where you're not even accepted, where you're not valued. And money is not evil. Money gives you options. Money will help you to take care of yourself, will help you to take care of your children, your family. Money will help you give your children that life that you've always wanted to give them. Money will help you make life easier. Money will reduce your suffering. Money will help you and your partner to build that marriage you've always dreamt about. Money will reduce the pressure in your home. But money cannot teach you to be faithful and disciplined. Money cannot make someone to respect you. Money cannot make a selfish person to become caring. Money cannot give a person emotional maturity. That is why some people married into money and later realized that they married into loneliness. They married into another dimension of suffering that is not financial suffering. So be careful what you choose. Be careful when you choose money or when you think you have chosen the best. So the lady that shared her story, I understand why you're having double mind about this situation. It is possible that it is because you have seen what poverty has done to your family. You have seen how you struggled in life. You have seen how you missed opportunities because of lack of money. You have seen what poverty has done to you, even as a young lady. You have seen what poverty has done to your boyfriend, Daniel. You saw what poverty did to him, how hardship made him to become a very, easily irritated person. You understand? He's always angry. Money, lack of money made him not even have time for you anymore, and all those things. He was not able to do the things he wanted to do for you because there was no money. I understand you. You're thinking future. You're thinking about yourself. You're thinking about your future children. I don't blame you for that. But one thing I also want to advise you is that be careful. If you decide to choose money, be sure that that money that you're choosing will not cost you your peace of mind. Do not choose a wealthy person that humiliates you because they know you like comfort, because they know that you marry them for their money. Do not choose someone that controls every single thing about your life, your movements, your friends, your decisions, every single thing, because they pay your bills. You should have a life of your own. You should have peace of mind, even in that marriage. Do not choose a person that sees you as an accessory. Someone that married you, but he feels like he bought you with his money because he paid your bride price. Because there are so many people that marry into money, but it's as if they are in a prison. Be careful. Whether you marry into money or not, the true strength of a relationship is how you treat each other when things become difficult, when you enter into various phases of life in that marriage. If you choose love that comes with character. Choose someone that communicates, someone that appreciates you, someone that loves you for who you are. Choose someone that does not turn every problem in that marriage into your fault. Choose someone that knows how to apologize. Choose someone that respects you. Choose someone that will be there for you when things get hard. Because that kind of love is more than butterflies in your tummy. It is more than chemistry. It is teamwork. And this is where so many people make mistakes, especially the ladies. They fall in love with potential and not reality. When they now enter into the marriage, reality.com. Please, my dear singles, do not marry a promise that the person has not even shown signs of becoming. Potential is beautiful. Seeing potential in a man, it is beautiful. But potential without action will make you suffer for years. It will make you miss a lot of opportunities in life. It can waste years of someone's life. If a man says he wants to be successful, that he's going to be successful, how is he acting now? If a woman says she's going to give you peace of mind, she's going to be the best wife you've ever married, blah 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 blah, how is she doing now? Character is the main thing. Consistency is the real proof. Yes. Another thing I want to advise to single people out there is, do not weaponize love. No, do not use love as a weapon. You hear some people that are in a relationship say, hey, if you love me, you will stand by me when I have nothing, blah 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 blah. No, that is manipulation. That is not love. Allow that person to know. I understand that maybe a struggling man goes through things with his girlfriend or fiance or however the case may be. Even married men, when things get hard, it's not always the same, depending on how bad things are anyway. But especially to those in a relationship stage, do not weaponize love. Do not try to manipulate that person to stay with you. Sometimes allow the person to choose you, even in that difficult situation. Because if you really love someone, you will try to reduce their burden and not add to it. If you really love your partner, you will become a better partner and not leave your bills, your burden and all your problems to that person. If you really love your partner, become a better partner. On the other hand, stop using money as a weapon in that relationship and also in marriage. Do not weaponize money. Because if you have the money, you're the one paying the bills, you now humiliate and insult your partner at every given opportunity. You control them as if they don't have a mind of their own. You threaten them and insult them because you feel that they cannot do without you because you're the one, doing everything in their life. No, that is not love. That is power. A healthy relationship is not where one person is begging for care and love and the other person is busy lavishing money on something else, trying to use the money to pepper the other person. No. A healthy relationship is where both of you bring something to that table. Even if one person is paying the bills in that relationship, maybe one person is richer and the other person is still building their business or their career, the both of you should bring respect to the table, effort, give each other peace of mind in that relationship, bring honesty and willingness to grow on that table of that relationship or marriage, because marriage is not a rescue mission. You can support your partner, you can encourage your partner, you can pray for them, yes, but you cannot do the work of becoming an adult for another adult. That is why my answer to love or money is, if you want to choose love, love with responsibility, love with financial wisdom, love with character. Choose love with effort. Choose love with a plan. Because if you choose love without purpose, you will suffer unnecessarily in that marriage. Have money without love. If you choose money without love, you will be comfortable, yes, but you might end up feeling empty and lonely in that marriage. So in my own opinion, between the two ladies that their videos were displayed at the beginning of this episode, who is right? One chose money and the other chose love more. My answer is, both of them are right. They simply gave their answers from their own perspective. Their answers reflect their experiences, their understanding, their fear, their hopes. So both of them are right. Their answers are valid. Everybody deserves a relationship where there is affection and responsibility. Everybody deserves a relationship where that person in the relationship might not have everything that you wish for, but they have the right mindset to grow and become a better version of themselves. They are already working on themselves, whether their finances, their character, they are working on themselves to have a better relationship, to have a better marriage. They are intentional about their growth. That is a positive sign. So if you're financially stable, you have the money, do not look down on your partner because they are still building. They're still building their life, their business, their character. They're still trying to be stable financially. Rather, look at their character. Look at their growth. Look at how responsible and disciplined that they are. That too is also valid. Because money can come and go, but you see the character of that person, it is always there. So choose a love that does not make you poor in peace, dignity, safety, and in your future. Choose a partner who may not be as wealthy as you wish him to be, but he's rich in character, vision, responsibility, and growth. If someone has money, make sure they are also kind, caring, disciplined, loyal, and respectful. Because at the end of the day, the wrong love can destroy you and the wrong money can trap you. But the right partner will make you feel loved, while both of you continue to build a steady, a peaceful, and a worth living life. So I want to ask you guys a quick question. If you were asked to choose between love and money, which one would you choose and why? Because the reason is even more important than the answer. Kindly drop your answers in the comment section. So that is all for today's episode. I hope you learned something today. So thank you so much for watching my video today. Thanks so much for listening. And please, if you're not subscribed, kindly subscribe to my channel. Also like and comment on my videos as well. To all those that want to send their story, it could be your personal experience, it could be something that someone else experienced, kindly send it to coupleschronicles@gmail.com. If you have any question related to love, dating, relationship, marriage, and divorce, send it to the same mail. I'll get your story, read it out, and people will advise you. So thank you so much for that. To all those that have been sending me mails, I really sincerely appreciate you. Thank you so much for all you do. So see you in my next episode. Bye.